Alright. Game 2 from Plains A3. Um, KBM against Detonation Focus Me. Really spicy draft so far. I think Velcos can be brought here. They banned the Hammerdinger. Seems like no one wants to play against Hammerdinger. Even if it's G2, even if they're these guys, Detonation Focus Me, they don't want to deal with the Hammerdinger mid and the Hammerdinger bot from G2. They banned the Pike, they banned Recon. Interesting that they banned Camille. This is the second time, I think. They banned Camille against C9, and then now we're seeing it against DFM. So, the classic bait Soraka from solo queue, and the set ban. So, really spicy draft. Definitely not what I expected coming into this game. I thought that these guys were going to play something like Tristan Alistair or just straight the Kaisa against the Lucian matchup, things like this. But I like it. I like that they left the Velcos open so that we can see those kind of signature picks showing. And yeah, oh, they got the 6 just when I say that. So, well, if you then said what you would expect, right? Let's get this. The ban Aurelia. They don't want to play into Aurelia anymore. Serious. Oh my god. They got the Orn. I love Orn, by the way. Orn and Maokai are like my favorite tank clubs right now. Sion opens the chance for you to get Maokai. So Aatrox is open. Oh, we got this bad, guys. I don't know. You can't see because of my camera, but yeah, it's back here next to the hammer. Sorry, the camera is like that, but that's what you have to do so that you can display it when the game starts. Aatrox and Asir, comfort for them. I like this corner and the. I like seeing this corner a lot into tanks. We see the Gragas here, and the Gragas we know that isn't flex because they see the Soraka, so really good corner pick there. Unless he's Gragas stop, but that's not gonna happen right now. I don't think Gragas stop is a thing anymore. We see Syndra again. Syndra is doing so well this tournament. We see it because just Jurex is doing well with them with that pick, but I think Syndra is really good. Into Azir, I think it used to be like really spicy. I didn't think that one could win. Like you could pick Syndra into Azir before, but Azir was just too broken that Azir was just a better champion at that point, so you had to outplay with Syndra and things like this. But now that Azir has been nerfed quite a lot, I think that Syndra can kind of fight her way over. And we saw Kaboom in the last game against DFM doing something level 1 to put Ranger ahead. Ranger lane invaded top so that he could be ahead of his counterpart. So let's see if this game DFM fights more for that or against that so that Steel can have a better early game this time around. So yeah, then again we saw like a small fight in the river. We see Rivet holding this position. We don't see sweepers, so that position doesn't do much. And now we're gonna see both top laners leashing. So we will have junglers matching, and that can be better for this corner if they ended up matching each other because this corner wants to be on the face of the grass in the early game. So okay, they're Velcos starts. Okay, Soraka deals a lot of damage. Oh my god, holy shit! Like she literally is 1v2. Bane is just has Bane done any damage there? Like, oh my god, look at Soraka here. Soraka already chunked Titan, and Bane Q. Bane doesn't even hold on. Soraka is 1v2 actually. So Soraka is just broken. Oh my god. Oh, Shim is cute. That's why you start E. I've seen the E start, and I think it's kind of good. I saw that on the RNG against IG. It was Ning, Ning is the jungler of IG. Sorry, Ming is the support for RNG. Ming had E level 1 with Soraka. That's how far we went with the E of Soraka. I think that ability is just too good. It's a silence that you cannot miss, and that deals a lot of damage. So yeah, but also Q's also does quite a few damage if you can just land the Q. Q is You can miss kills, so that's a problem, Soraka. Oh, she got wrecked there by Darkos. Now she doesn't have pots, so is he really going to recall? Oh, that's not good. Well, actually, well, here base. None of the junglers seem to have done the. Yeah, both started top side, but none of them did the columns, red columns. Not that I remember. So small gank attempt there. We see a ward also being played by Gragas. Skarner is already on the map, and Gragas hasn't base yet. So now Skarner has a lot of tempo to do whatever he wants. He can ward whatever he wants. He can deep ward, he can gank, he can look for this kind of thing. Um, looks like he's just going to walk top. So yeah, he's going to gank top. And he knows that this is not going to be a 2v2 unless Evie makes enough time for Steel to come. A really good gank. He knew after seeing Gragas placing the ward in front of him at Raptors, he knew that Gragas wasn't gonna be on the map for a while. So that he had tempo basically. So really good use of the tempo in the jungle from Ranger and really good punish. Now we're seeing them dive top. Now is the tempo of DFM. So DFM has tempo, but as long as Sentence makes enough time for Ranger, this can be turned around. So then again, if you make enough time, oh, that was actually one for zero, so that's okay. Yeah, Sentence made enough time for Ranger to come, and that made it a better play for KBM in the end. They don't have that many minions, which can be fine, but Sentence knocked up Steel there, and with that, they made enough time for Ranger to come, because I can see that working, even if there are like 3 to 4 minions, if they can just one-shot Sentence, right? Wasn't he level 5 at the night, right? He was level 5, so if here they somehow manage to get out. Here, still is showing, right? So now the reaction time from Sentence has to be on point here if Steel does flash E or something. Or they CC here, Sentence right away. Now that Steel walk a little bit, Sentence already has time to react. Like he has potential to react. Because when Steel came from the fog of war, it's hard. It's hard to react. You're just seeing the person out of the fog of war. But now he has reaction time, and what he's gonna do, he's gonna knock up a Steel here, and by doing that, he's already making enough time. As soon as the Gragas shows, Corner was going to walk always. So Corner was already moving, and when this happened, they couldn't one shot Santins anymore. So Santins didn't get one shot, and now they turn around this. So really well played from KBM's top laner. Now we see again bottom. Ranger Tunkinch had just flashed, and now we see, yeah, you're dead. Tunkinch can deal a lot of damage too, so. Ranger didn't even have to ult, so. What? Soraka with the E, dude. I think it was an E, right? Oh my god, Soraka's just broken, man. Like, she's rocking this thing. Oh my god. You hate to see those. Oh my god. Still ganking top. Gang number 3. Hey, it was a successful game. So, if your jungler had just ganked bottom, why would you die top? Well, let's see the wave. Maybe Sentence was pushing, or he messed up with the wave, or the wave bounced, and that led to him dying. Here at this point, you know that your jungler is bottom, you know that the jungler either was bottom but was TSing, or wasn't bottom because he never came to the bot gang, or they just got the one shot, right? And you know that your jungler is bottom, you should never be in this position, especially if the wave is not pushing to them. The wave was pushing towards you, as it looks. So you should never die there as Sentence. Despite He just had that outplay where he made enough time for Ranger before, and now he dies like this when Ranger isn't there. Those are the things that I hate to see the most. I think that you shouldn't um, die in those instances if you don't have flash. You should be more aware of where your jungler is in the map and if he can match or not. And yeah. Okay, let's see. Game's pretty even. It's slightly on Kaboom side, but DFM can definitely keep up. I think DFM are on on almost even gold here, so they're not out of the game yet. I don't think that Kaboom has like this scaling advantage or anything in this just yet. Small leads can matter a lot. Let's say that you're even in a game where you have this hyper carry against this aggressive early game, champion. So sometimes even if the game is even, it's probably already lost at that point. But here the game is even, but I think that BFM can still do a lot of things. Really good combo on the not combo, he just R. Let's be honest. But yeah, I like when Velcos uses. You don't always have to get a kill with your Velcos ultimate, and you can always use the coolness. It's so short to just scare people away out of the lane. As you can see, it's short. This cooldown is way shorter than the Azir. This is going to be up already, and Azir, even Azir just used the ulti. I get that. I get that Velcos used it earlier, but you can see it's almost up here. So 40 seconds up. He can use the next one to push someone away from the lane again. Game number 3 for Ranger in top for match. So the third time he's being top. So both junglers already getting top a lot this game. So we know those slow laners that really want attention and that really want their jungler there with them. Um, okay, that gank wasn't successful. Oh, he hits that. I think Gragas almost dies, or he gets pushed away. Like he gets forced to recall. Okay, something's going on Evie. Evie doesn't have mana. Ceros has a solid lead with the Syndra. I think Syndra is just Azir is gonna farm there, so it's not as big, but still solid. Syndras are just dominating laning phases, or maybe it's just Candy, which is separate the Syndras from Candy. Remember when we had Candy Panda on SK Gaming? That's what Candy reminds me of. Very slow game. At this point, the game slowed down a lot. No one's doing anything. They're not even trying to get feral or break. Um, okay, some action. I think Tamkin ulted, or he just was roaming or something. Okay, let's see how they got to that point. It's probably okay. They're fighting for vision here. Ranger Flash ults, and now we see Ryef collapsing alongside with Nikendo, and yeah, they just get destroyed. They just die. Oh, Evie, please. Oh, you hate to see those. Oh my god. Evie couldn't get the kill. He lost a lot of CS stuff also. Yeah. That's when Tamkin is really good. When you can just really roam and you just get back with your ulti, or you just ulti and then you get back walking, you're not losing anything from doing that. So really aggressive move and capitalization from Ranger. Not everyone would just flash R Agragas when you see another river because you think it's tanky, he can make enough time. He was. This Gragas isn't tanky. Like Gragas right now, the way it's being played, isn't that tanky because they get a lot of early AP or they just go full AP sometimes even. So, but still good capitalization on the Gragas sketch there. Um, now Kaboom is really far ahead. They're like 4K ahead now. So let's see what the FM could potentially do. Their only option that I see, since they have the traditional ADC, is they can look for a swap where they're not in the side like they're in the side lane of the top laner. I'm talking about their bot lane, and so they're forcing the turret race and things like this where mages aren't that good. They're good at pushing, but they're not good at taking turrets. They're not that good at taking turrets like the AD carries or traditional AD carries basically. So that's the only play that I can think of that can help them neutralize this point in time. Still just got caught again doing crap. So still doesn't have flash and he's 2 levels down on this corner. This corner is really good into tanks and I like a lot seeing these kind of things. And now that Steel doesn't have flash, that flash is really important on your Gragas. It's one of the most important cooldowns from this game, other than the flash on this corner, obviously, and tank punch. So we're seeing Herald being started. They have priority in the side lane. They also have priority mid. They have the juggler that is 10 levels and experience in gold. Sorry. Uh, yeah, Kaboom can do anything on them, everything here with the map. So now we're seeing the Herald mid immediately. So they are going to get a mid turret. And with this, the DFM is just too far behind now. They're looking to tail bottom. Here, the main seems to be looking for the Aatrox. This is the only play. And sure, they're going to lose one more turret mid, but this is the only play that they can get. So I think this can be good. And the fact that Tankage got stopped, and even if Aatrox made some time with his revive thing, that wasn't enough. He survived. Yeah, they lost one return because of that, but they at least are getting things and forcing plays. Now they can look for a 4v5 team fight now that Santins is dead, but that's not gonna happen. And they also use TP, which is bad right now. That is really bad. Um, but that's what you have to look for because now you can force a 45 after this pick. The problem with that is Tomkic didn't don't hold earlier. That bothers me a little bit. But yeah, perhaps he was on mission. He didn't want to get canceled, but he got canceled anyways, and he was on mission anyways. So you might as well just want to scare them. We see now Bane with QSS. I think that your top one needs to play really aggro now that he has the defensive item because if you're going to do pure damage, what ends up happening is you have to play really careful without the defensive item. And now that he has the QSS for his corner, he cannot care about the enemy team, and he can. They're turning a lot heavy. I like this play a lot because you're putting the triple behind over and over. It's not like the other team can just start the Baron right away. And now you're seeing Baron hasn't been started by the enemy team. Kaboom cannot just start. They cannot start Baron just like that. And Santins has to start playing more careful. This is the second time it happens, and he fell for it twice. I wouldn't like to see this 3 times. I think Santins has to be more careful, more smart on the way he wants to play the side lane. He has to be more reserved. He has to wait for Vayne to show in the other side lane or on the other side around mid, and instead, top or mid. And if Vayne doesn't show, you have to respect the Fog of War or the Vayne Mia basically. Um, DFM is stalling more with what just happened, we just saw. So now Atrix is going top. So no more Atrix bottom. I think that's not the. Okay, now Atrix is swapping back. Good job. I don't like Atrix top here. I would never do that. Even if there's Drake, I wouldn't do that. Drake, you can always solo the Drake with 1 or 2 people. What you really want is to hold the top side vision here, as Kaboom, and now we're seeing Sion grouping in the other side. So now that they killed Aatrox twice with the Vayne, now Sion is coming to the other side, and hopefully they can get kills on this side that they are 5v4. And looks like they're going to Azure wall against Sion. Lol. So yeah, now Sion is Sion is gonna go catch bot. He lost 4 CS for that play, but he got the 0 ultimate and some pressure back. Since they got chunked, yeah, the enemy team started the Baron, and now we're seeing, yeah, the Baron contest. They tanked that for a long time, and honestly, if you like Skarner, oh my god, Skarner is not one of those tanks that can tank Baron forever. And since they don't have any other tanks, they have Tam Kenchik as well. They didn't have someone to tank that like that well, and with a contest there with Syndra and Skarner being close, they couldn't just do the Baron and tank that forever and play around the steal. So yeah, I really don't like that. Maybe if Asir had just jumped onto them, like here, Asir could have just looked for them. He doesn't have OT, but even jumping the wall is good, like with Skarner. How did he get interrupted by Baron? I think Vel'Koz just got interrupted by Baron. I think that could have been a really great play if Vel'Koz wasn't interrupted. So that really changes a lot, actually. But yeah, it was more about the Vel'Koz getting interrupted than anything else here. And they also get the steal. So yeah, it looks like DFM aren't out of the game yet, or just yet. Well, everything, all that happened. Sentence killed Evie bottom. Yeah. So Ranger found Steel. Steel is still 2 levels behind. He dies. So now they have to defend the siege that is coming here. Um, with Baron it's easier, but you really wanted to use Baron there for something, for anything. So they eventually got the top turret. So DFM still really far behind, but they can work the miracle here. Atrix backing away, so Samson's not dying again to the same play. Really good. Um, oh, that's interesting. No one really has like a huge amount of MR. They all have mercs, but Skarner has full armor. Other than that, and Tamkench is getting. Oh, now it's getting Locket, so or six rather. But he has Knight's Vow, so Syndra can do a lot of work potentially. I still think Kaboom is better in the late game. I think that one Vel'Koz's ability is just they're banging out so much. The same with Asir. They can deal a lot of damage. The thing is that they need Aatrox to be zoning the enemy front line from fights. As you can see here, they just deleted this item. I think that Kaboom's composition right now is in this late game is just better sometimes. Most of the time because they can just like delete someone with the Vel'Koz passive and not care about the enemy champions. They can disregard very hard the other champions. Like they can actually ignore Vayne if they're just using their spells to like zone her. Um, yeah, they're not seeing anymore. Bot lane turret is now really very low, which is relevant because he just has been winning that side really hard against the Sion. Now he's getting even more CS for himself, so she should be really far ahead from Sion. Mm. So now we see H mid. As you will. Yeah, Siri is really good against the Sion in that aspect. Skarner flashed ulti there. He died. Still live and main Jutapon was doing some work. Atrix just deleted everyone. Atrix is gonna get like a platter here, isn't he? Okay, he didn't. Yeah, they could potentially have done some work there. He didn't use QSS, or perhaps he didn't have that before the fight. Um. Anyways, that means that oh, the blue foot does a lot of damage to turrets. The passive that he has in the autos. All they lost doubling hit, and Bane has a GA. He has a lot of defensive items. I don't like that. I don't mind it, but I don't like it either. So I think that what you need to do is start building the big ticket items, even if you don't have that much money. If you wanna, I can understand why you want to finish items earlier or sooner, but just go for the big ticket items because you're not winning anyways if you're finishing an item now. So maybe I'll delete it there. Maybe with GA it's different. She does that. Sorry guys. So now we have to wait for the variance out. I haven't liked Capcome's battle setups that much. I think they're just starting it without having vision control. Like they swept the river, or the enemy team doesn't have vision, but they only have one pick in the entire river. So that was a one pick Baron setup. So perhaps they thought, or they figured they could just rush it, and it was going to be fine anyways because Azir can just deny the steal, things like this. You can just jump over the wall. But you have to take into account some other things, like Churaka's islands. If Churaka throws his islands into the pit, then Gravis can look for the steal and actually try to steal the Baron. So sometimes teams forget about those things. We saw Gambit trying to um, steal a Baron from Kalista by silencing Kalista with Malzahar, but they missed. So that kind of thing can throw teams off, and they can probably not expect that every time. So I think, yeah, KBM should win this by now. There's so much more ahead. I always thought that DFM could come back the game because they had Vayne, but nah, not happening. Get out. So now 1-1, both teams. So this should be interesting. Or 1-2, I guess, because they both lose to C9. But yeah, should be interesting how this group ends up in the end. So let's see. See you guys in the next one.